Welcome back to our class on depression. This is number 5. This is real different. That's why I got a different look here in honor of my friend Scottie. Scottie's a gent that I met. He's a security guard on a cruise ship that I worked on. He was in the British Navy. And if you're in the military, you know, people in the military, they experience things in war and in things, it's just as serving the military, that they see that most people wouldn't want to ever deal with in their life. And they have to deal with this. They have a job to do. Scott is going to tell us something that he went through, that him and his mates went through, and how they got through it from going into depression. And they were sad. Of course they're going to be sad. But what helped them? And there's something so important to be learned by all of this. So here you go. Enjoy it. I'll see you in a bit.
I served in the Royal Navy. I joined in 1978 as a submarine hunter, which is a Chief UW, underwater warfare. And I left in 2012.
And so you served 5 years?
34?
My method, you don't want me to do your counting. So you saw, I mean, you had a lot of fun.
Oh, tremendous amount of fun.
But you also saw things that were hard and horrible.
One major thing, yeah, which was really bad. It's still there, but it's copable. Manage it quite well.
Okay, what happened?
We was involved in a boating accident off Italy, off the coast of Italy, and one of the guys, he fell out the boat, and the boat turned at the same time, so the boat ran over the gentleman concerned and ran over him with the propellers, and he died, and it was during a mess function. We're having a mess function on one of the beaches, and it affected us quite badly that day.
In what way?
Well, he died. He's a member of the mess. He was so popular. It was just wasn't expected. I mean, things like that you don't expect, and it affects something badly.
Scottie, in America we call that, and they call that post-traumatic stress. Something horrible happened, and it affects you.
Yeah.
How long did it affect you?
It's always there. It'll never go away, but the way we coped afterwards, or what we did afterwards, made it copable. It made it bearable. Obviously, you had the grief. The initial investigation went on, and then 3 days later, we were still in port. So we took the guy out to dinner.
Explain.
We took him out to dinner. The whole mess, about 20, 25, 30 blokes. We took the guy out to dinner. He had his own place. He had his own serving. Obviously, no food, because we couldn't afford to pay him because he wasn't going to eat it.
Now let's get this, because sometimes the British humor is a little bit different than American. You actually didn't take his body out to dinner.
No. Okay. We just pretended he was there. He was with us.
Yes.
And we wanted to say goodbye. And as with the way we do it. I mean, we dined him. We, obviously, British Navy, Royal Navy, alcohol is involved.
Yeah.
Sorry, American Navy. And it's the way we do cope. We use alcohol as a coping method. It works. We don't abuse it, but we took him out to dinner and got drunk and said goodbye to him.
Did you roast him? Did you bring up stories? What did you do at that moment?
We talked about him. We talked about his life. We talked about his family, his job, and the things he did when he was with us. Because he was a funny guy. He would appreciate what we did to him. So we just talked about him.
Was there crying involved?
Yeah. Oh, there was. There was crying involved, especially by the close friends, myself even. I mean, I looked like a hard person, but everyone's got a soft spot.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did cry. Yeah. And down the office, just on the computer, suddenly your brain will twitch back to that event, and the whole lot of emotion comes out.
Your mind will, you say,
yeah.
Go right back to that moment.
Yeah, exactly.
And then from that moment, though, you also go to when you took him out to dinner.
Yeah.
And then
exactly.
What does that do to that horrible moment?
It's a negative and a positive. It does cancel each other's out, and you just carry on the way you are. It happened, yes, it did happen, but it's also an event which had to happen because whoever is upstairs called him, and that's how we cope with it.
You also you made that thing about how alcohol is a part. Explain.
Alcohol is. We got absolutely roasted that night. The command knew that we had to do this, or was doing this, and they left us alone. If there's any problems, they were there to support us after alcohol. There was no rules and regulations which were followed, so nobody was put into jail or anything like that. And if people got too drunk, they were looked after because of this.
But your commander was in on it.
Absolutely. He agreed to it, he let us do it. He let the whole mess go out. The senior chiefs, they did our duties for us while the whole mess went out and did this meal.
It's never dwelled on you.
No. It's never dwelled on me, but it has been there.
It never goes away.
Never goes away.
It's important, isn't it, to say?
I don't think you can ever take it away because you have experienced that. I can still hear the propellers hitting that body.
You were there.
I was there.
You saw it and heard it.
Yes, I was there. I saw his body being dragged into the boat. We went to the beach. And it's still vivid. But what we did afterwards cancels it out because, yes, he died, but yes, we remembered him for what he was on that night together.
Anybody that serves in a military branch, if you witness something of a post-traumatic stress, how is the best way to deal with it?
Share it. Share your problem. Don't linger on that problem, that issue alone. Share it with your friends. I'm a great believer in a problem spoken about as a problem halved. It's problem shared, problem halved. And that should be for everyone. And I think servicemen, no matter whereabouts in the world, it's a brotherhood. We are brothers, we serve together, we do nasty things together. We go away in tin boxes at sea together. And you should be able to share your issues. That's what I have to say. And we meet up, even now. We have reunions, and that, again, is usually involving a lot of alcohol. But we can. Well, why not? We can.
Sure. Nothing wrong with alcohol.
No. No problems at all. As long as it's respected and no one's using it. If a person's using it daily, they've got a problem. If a person is using it socially, with a group of people who have had these, been to these places, witnessed horrible things, they can share those stories and deal with things together.
How long after the incident did you take him out to dinner?
3 days. And we got rid of his kit as well.
His what?
His kit, his uniform.
Yeah, what'd you do?
We auctioned it off.
You did what?
Auctioned it off.
You auctioned off his uniform?
It's a tradition in the Royal Navy that if anyone dies while serving on a ship, you get all his kit together out of his locker because you're not just going to throw it away. We've just raised some money for, I don't know, his family or to his favourite charity.
And so that's a tradition in the Navy?
Absolutely.
The British Navy?
Yeah, we bought his tie. The mess as a whole bought his tie. And that tie was framed, and he was good in what's called command field gun, which is quite a good sport. And it went to the hut. That tie went to the hut with a nice little plaque where he could be remembered back in shoreside.
Gotcha.
So we raised money. And again, it involved alcohol.
Always goes back to alcohol.
Oh, I'm sorry to say, yeah, it does. But it's done controlled and socially.
So many things I learned here from Scottie. Share it. Honor them. Share the sadness together. Deal with the sadness. Honor the person that died. Laugh together. And he also proves that alcohol's okay. Sometimes you do get drunk. You're not abusing it. Sometimes you just, and when you get drunk together and laugh about it the next day, that's another memory as well. But when you share it and talk about it and you remember it, like he said, it kind of cancels out the tragedy in some ways with some people. And for many of us, it just turns down the volume of the sadness so we can manage it and move on with our life. What happens, though, when you're dealing with so much physical pain that it affects you emotionally and you can't even go on and you're thinking, this is it. I'm going to kill myself. This is it. You're about to meet two guys that went through that and still have to deal with the emotional aspects of dealing with Tourette's syndrome. Tourette's syndrome is far from the disease people think where somebody just yells out obscenities and it's no. This is a serious neurological condition that affects people in ways I never could have imagined. See at the next class. It's actually quite funny. These guys are marvelous and inspiring, but it shows you how the physical plane, but it shows, sorry about that, it shows you how, it's going to show us how the physical pain can lead to the emotional pain, and how if you don't manage it, it can lead to suicide, and how, by the grace of God, you can stop it if you have the ability to find some humor and change your perspective. That's the next class. Hope to see you there. Drink responsibly, as Scottie would say.